Vande Mataram and good morning everyone. Definitely the team Nirman across this country and across the globe is definitely looking forward for this 120-minute interaction with each one of you. Over the course of next 15 to 20 minutes, you will definitely understand why this talk, this interaction is very, very important for the team Nirman across the globe. We are very proud to know that many of you have gone to Statue of Unity on the Civil Services Day and have taken a unity pledge. How many of you have gone? How many of you may know? Many of you. And you have taken the spirit of MCHRD and spirit of young officers and have taken a unity pledge. At Nirman, from the beginning of February 12th of 2005 at BITS Pilani in Rajasthan, to this date, we have been following this unity pledge in our own format. So we do it every day in the morning when we go to work to make some social impact, to volunteer, and also when we, in the evening when we close out, we start with Vande Mataram, we do a Chakde, and then National Anthem and we do a Chakde. May I all request you to, we all start together this 120-minute conversation with a Vande Mataram. Yeah, can you all stand up please? I will also talk about Chakde. The team Nirman will do it here, and at the end of this session, we will all of us together will do it. And I am happy to introduce both of our directors along with us today, Sri Muhammad M.A. Wahid, IFS officer. He has is a forestman and also has led the development in minorities welfare. I also have from Synchrony Vice President Sri Venkat. He is also a director today. He is also here. Our little leaders, many of them program managers are there. Yeah, thank you. Hi. 3, 2, 1.
Chakde!
3, 2, 1.
Chakde!
3, 2, 1.
Chakde!
This we do it day in and day out in Nirman throughout our volunteering from. We have also studied, many of you are engineers, I was told. Almost 64 out of you, 140 I think you're all engineers, doctors, lawyers, many of you. We also have come from professional colleges. We do this every day. The spirit of this is that maybe our fathers or forefathers are divided definitely by our caste, creed, race, religion, whatnot. There are n number of parameters to divide, but we, the youth of this India, building the new India by 2050, as we all say, that definitely cannot be divided by any chance. That's the spirit of Chakde that we are talking about. And my name is Mayur Patnala. I'm son of Sri Harihar Rao, who is no more. He is not with me at this moment. And Srimati Roja, who is my mother, and my first teacher, Professor L.K. Maheshwari ji, who is the Vice Chancellor of BITS Pilani. To all of them, sincere gratitude because without all of them and the team Nirman, the volunteering team, around 10,000 volunteers who have volunteered for the past 15 years, 1.5 decade, I would not be in a stage to speak to you all. My heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all of them. In 2005, way back, while we were studying at our university, our college, 10 of us came together. That was the time Swami Vivekananda inspiration and also Abdul Kalam's inspiration was a clarion call of Kalamji was there, where we'll achieve developed India by 2020. That was the clear clarion call that was given by Abdul Kalamji. Few of us, in the students in the campus, thought that why not we take that and respond to that call. And we said, yes, 10 of us, let's teach 1 hour per day for the nation, let's save 1 rupee per day for the nation, and let's start something. So we started teaching with mesbayas and the rickshawalas in our campus because they're getting cheated all through from the money lenders, and also they also brought their kids. So we started teaching them. So we had different schedules like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. In the evening, we are running an evening school for 25 of them. 25 of the kids and also their parents we were teaching in slots. And we also wanted funds, and we said save 1 rupee per day. That means 30 rupees a month. And 10 of us, so 300 rupees a month we were doing this. And suddenly there is a Kashiram Kaji, who is a rickshawala. He is not coming. We developed so much relation. That is first time in our lives that we have gone out of the campus. Our university campus was very green, lush green, and it is full of resources. And when we stepped out of the campus, that is the first time that we have seen utter poverty prevailing, full of desert in Rajasthan. And at least because of the fortunate thing happened that we are born to middle class families. My father is a teacher, and so as the remaining 9, and hence we didn't see any time utter poverty. When we walked out and when we went in search of those Kashiram Kaji family in the village of Rajasthan, it is at that point of time that we encountered that we have seen our own Kashiram Kaji was on the bed because of the spinal cord broken in an accident, and the first victim that we have seen is the girl child whom he used to bring, an 8th class girl child who is dropped out of the school. And the girl child and also the mother, both of them together are actually going and doing daily wage to run the family. That is the first instance where we thought, where we have witnessed, where we have encountered the smashing of a dream. The smashing of a dream of a girl child that's happening there. And when we have this, the roti that is being eaten, 3-4 weeks back that is prepared, there are a lot of flies on the roti and achar being made. Then we understood that achar is being made because they cannot afford the vegetables and fruits. And that was the time these utter realities have touched our brains and hearts, and we did not get sleep. These 10 students, we are talking about a 10-student story which is there on the campus who have witnessed such realities, went back to campus. When we went back to campus, there is a lot of food wastage that we were doing in the campus. Till that time we are not realizing, we are abundant of resources. After we saw that there is no food that is available for these kids and this family, it was striking. We were wasting a lot of power, and there is no power. Actually, many of them, 9 of them, when we did the survey, we understood that even the pregnant women in that village are dying because of lack of health care, and 8 to 9 years age group of people, children, are already getting addicted to alcohol. These are the things which really touched us. We thought of starting something. We thought of responding in our own humble way, in a small, gentle way of let's do something for the country. And after witnessing this incident, we came back, we ran a campaign in the campus, and we put posters all around. That is when our Professor L.K. Maheshwari ji told, yes, we are making you technically sound, but this university's responsibility is also to build students and people of character to the nation. Hence, we will support this initiative, they said. When the professor said that, we did not never look back. We actually, the first meeting hall where we spoke is a 30-seater. But 120 people turned up. Professors of the campus, vice chancellor of the campus, their faculty members and their families and the students. We changed the room. I still remember, I'm getting reminded of that 120-seater, around this 150 I believe, that we have first addressed. And we said, we will build a youth movement. We are not aware of non-profits. We are not aware of much of things. All that we know is civil service. If at all people have to serve for the country, the only way out is to go into civil services and or armed forces and do something for the country. But that's when we thought we will build a youth movement for this country. And we never looked back. We never looked back. These 10 students who were giving this 1 hour per day every day, that has become to 100. And this 1 rupee per day, 30 rupees per month, the call was taken by 200 people on the campus, 6,000 rupees per month we were collecting. We are going into the villages in and around Rajasthan, the villages around, and we were teaching, we were establishing village knowledge centers, and then we have seen many rural youth who are not having access to dreaming big. They can dream big, but their dreams are getting smashed at one point or other, like the girl child, the daughter of Kashiram Kaji. And we never looked back. And of course, we got support, but at the same time, there is a lot of criticism that is prevailing around. People told this 200 people support us on the campus and these 100 volunteers, they're all talking about big things. Like you all study, we also have studied, we got the books of Abdul Kalam, we got the books of whatnot, Vivekananda and whatever, and we have studied them, and we are talking about those things. People told you're all idealists here. In 1-2 years you will move to the campus. That was the time I was personally doing my BONS mechanical and BONS computer science. These things don't work. Once you are into career is done, your moment is done. Leave about these things. You are limited to maximum you can do is volunteering. That too, after you graduate, nothing will happen. This was what is told. And you all know, when you are criticized, when you are told, when you are challenged, that's when the best comes out of you. And that's what happened for Team Nirman as well. If you cut there in 2005, in 2019, almost we are edging towards 2020, February is very near. And we are very proud to say that these 10 students have BITS Pilani, Rajasthan, this university, leave about the campus name as well. These college students who were told, you don't have political backup. Your daughters and sons of nor Tata, neither Tata nor Birla. And these 10 students have become a Nirman army of 1,000 people now. We have now 1,000 volunteers, out of them 700 are volunteers now, and 300 full-time staff. So that means to put together, we are 1,000 Nirman army, which will do this Chak day in and day out, and will serve for the country currently. And we are proud to say, these are the 10 students, college students, like all of you, who have crossed and you have written the history by coming and best lot of this country to lead this country to New India 2050. We also, in a humble own way, these are the 10 students who have definitely happened to be building this 1,000+ army which is working for the country. It is not just that. These 6,000 rupees, people told, what are you talking about here? Government is doing, millions of NGOs are there in this country. You're talking about saving 1 rupee per day for the nation and 30 rupees a month. People have criticized, and we are very happy to say, following the values, 3-point values of Nirman, that is being truthful, being responsible, being ruthlessly transparent. Now every year annually 15 crores of annual community investments go into the community through our trusted donors globally. And yes, coming the third point, which is very much important, that is the impact. How many lives are we able to touch? We started with those 25 in that one village, and now we are, this year, this milestone year, we have touched 1 million. 1 million, that is 10 lakh. Children, women, youth and farmers, and that's going to be our talk for today. We are invited to talk about social entrepreneurship in India, challenges and opportunities. And thank you so much for our respected DG sir, who has invited Team Nirman. I am the voice of, and fortunately I am having by my father's blessings that I have come here to represent Team Nirman, but actually there is the entire Team Nirman who is talking about today, and this social entrepreneurship 2 hours next, whatever 90 minutes or 100 minutes that we are going to spend, we are going to have a conversation on social entrepreneurship. The social entrepreneurship, I am told by MCHRD leadership that our officers are a bit reluctant towards theory. We told we don't have even a single line of theory. All that we have is because we are also youth, right? We also know that youth likes action, not theory. How many of you agree? How many of you agree? Yes, that is why you are all here, and that's why Government of India has chosen you to lead this country. And today we are talking about these particular topics. If you take the first page of it, we have worked hard for it, definitely this session. And if you take the first part of it, we have this social entrepreneurship in India and challenges and potential. And we have slotted it in such a manner that some real conversation can happen between you and us. First we'll be talking about an introduction session. That's what is going on. And then we'll have another 15 minutes to 20 minutes slots where we'll be discussing about the main theme that is relevant to all of you, because social entrepreneurship in India, challenges and opportunities, is a topic which is actually a bit broader. So what we thought is, the theme of the talk can be future of social change. How can civil servants and civil society organizations or social entrepreneurs can partner together to create a social change? And we thought in our whole journey of 1.5 decades, we will pick those instances where we worked with senior officers. They might be in Indian Railway Traffic Service, they might be in Indian Postal Service, they might be in Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Forest Service. So what has been our journey? What are the learnings that can we as case studies can take up is what being talked about today. And then we have cut it into various slots. We thought we'll have a child team, we have a youth team, and then women team and farmers team. And also, finally, we thought we will connect it to SDG Action Lab. This is one idea that NCHRD leadership and Nirman is talking about, where while we are talking about a national goal of India 2050, we also have an indicative global goal. I'm sure I also have the PowerPoint presentation that you all guys prepared. You have gone and visited a village and have seen how SDGs are happening at a village level. Now what we are thinking, like the Nobel Prize award winning work of Abhijit Banerjee, what happened is that they have taken up social impact evaluations and across the globe, and really they have come up with some brilliant work. We thought that you officers, you're all officers who will be going to posted to various cadres, and you will be posted to various cadres, and also you will be posted to various parts of the country in various services. Wherever you are, we thought MCHRD and Nirman together, how we can continue to engage with all of you in global goals. When I talk about global goals, it's about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, by 2030. May it be quality education, may it be no poverty, may it be zero hunger, may it be quality healthcare, may it be climate change. Whatever are the global goals, how can we continue to engage? How can we, you as an Indian Railway Traffic Service officer, or as an IPS officer, like many such possibilities are there where in your own service you can still continue to engage with global goals. So that is the action that we have slated for today. and then we'll close with feedback and concluding remarks. So, any questions or any doubts on the part and how we are going to spend the next few minutes of our time? Any questions or doubts? Okay, thank you. All this while, I personally and my team has been to Europe, has been to working with IBM India Software Lab internationally for 5 years, and many of my colleagues. So wherever they are actually contributing to the new India through Nirman platform, and many of them are contributing in their own roles. Some of them would be in civil services like you. Anupama IAS. Have you heard of Anupama IAS from Kerala cadre? She is BITS Planning Nirman president. So every year there is a president, right? There is a president, and after that she went. And Divya Devarajan IAS, Telangana cadre. Prakash IPS, who is Telangana cadre once again. And then many of the officers like this, we always dreamt that we'll be inside the system like you to drive the systematic change, or we thought we'll be outside the system, inside the public to complement whatever the civil servants are doing. So, when we are talking about these Nirman leaders, whoever are leading our flagship programs, quitting everything and contributing full time, devoting full time to this work of social change from inside the people, definitely always we are partnering and looking forward. And all this while, we would have minimum work with, in this 15-year journey, 50 civil servants from different services. And today is very, very important day for Team Nirman, because we are getting access, and we are talking to, and we are given an opportunity by God to orient with our work for 140 such leaders who are going to drive New India 2050. We are Team Nirman, all of us who are sitting here and also who are there across the globe are really passionate about this today. Yeah, we have gone through some of you, the PowerPoint presentations that you have made. We are really inspired by various groups which made the presentation. We got access in the limited time to go through the group 2 presentation of Aruna Arora and the team, and then we got an access to group 4 presentation where we spoke about vernacular language inclusion. You spoke about inclusion of giving a choice, fair chance to people from all education qualifications. You spoke about that. You spoke about rural and tribal ones. And as I remember, there is one group 7, I believe, with Officer Sanjana, who spoke about how the public servant, civil servant, the perception really has to be a public servant. Brilliant thoughts. And there is one group which has actually come up and presented here, I think in the same hall. Is it the same hall where you presented your PowerPoints? Yeah? Okay. So that group was talking about, how do you see yourself in next 30 years? That's the question that was put by MCHRD. And that group told about, the gentleman who is here, this side, is talking about, we see ourselves as nation and institution builders. We really got connected here. What a super thought it is. And one of the officers over here was talking about, I think she is the one, and she spoke about, we as women officers will not let any girl child miss the spotlight of the society. What a thought here. Hats off to you all. Let's all clap for them. I mean, really. Many talks, many a times talks will happen to be talks, and sometimes talks happen to be revolutions, and this can be a verge of a revolution, definitely. We can be at the verge of the revolution, and we can build that movement. Definitely, we believe personally, as social entrepreneurs, we'll come back to the definition. Who can be called social entrepreneur? Can an officer be called a social entrepreneur? Then a non-profit person can be called a social entrepreneur? It's a debatable one. We will discuss about it. But it's definitely a great moment to talk to officers like you. It's a God-given opportunity, we would say. And we will not let even every minute working for hard for it with utmost sincerity to ensure that whatever the 15 years of journey that we have made, we will capture it and we will preferably put it as a case studies to you in a one-to-one interaction and a group interaction in the next part of the session. Thank you so much. You are our heroes today. You are our heroes. We have been into Rajendra Nagar, Delhi. I have personally been there because many of the Bitsians are fascinated about Indian civil services, and we are really proud today. I bow to all of you for whatever the hard work that you have done, and you have shown that Mr. Bharat from your own officers trainees say that maybe this Indian civil services is the only exam in the world where you will have only 150 rupees in your pocket and you can be the Finance Secretary of India. Hats off to the Constitution which has given this equality. And if we all come together, then definite possibility is there that like the girl child who got their dreams smashed at an age of 8th standard, who is the daughter of a rickshawala, you are the real epitomes of showing that anyone in this country who has taken birth as human, has infinite potential and can preserve the dreams, whatever socio-economic backgrounds you are from. Nothing doing. Hats off. Mr. Santanu, the escort officer, my dear friend, has introduced Mayur at the last moment as Mayur has only one passion, the rise of a great nation, he said. That is not the profile that was given. Nirman believes in an ideology that when a social work is done, it has to be done without expectation of money, name and power, and we represent team. We said we have only one passion, the rise of a great nation. Yes, as a Nirmanite, yes, I have that. But here I am Team Nirman. Thank you. We in fact sent him the Nirman profile. We just included 1-2 paragraphs of Mayur and has put down that speaker first. Thank you so much. This is the first part of the session for today. We have a few more goals to do where probably it is a two-way interaction to whatever time permits. So I'll take a 1-minute break. You can too, and we'll start with the children thief. Some water. Yeah, actually you can utilize would not suffice to have such interaction. Hence, what we have done is, as a team of Team Nirman, we have actually facilitated into case studies. We thought that each session from now can flow on like this. How many such sessions I will tell you. We have children session, we have a special program for children, and then youth, women and farmers. These are 4-5 sessions we have. 5 goals we will be doing now. Together. Are you ready? Yes. Together we will be doing 5 sprints. 5 sprints. Are we all ready? Yes. Let me tell you, today I'm definitely not a teacher or a facilitator. I can be a facilitator, yes. When we go to the government schools and when we want to, have a 2-way interaction with the government school kids, for whom we say we all can dream big, and then we ask them this simple question: are you all ready? We ask, and I ask in a different manner. Can we stand up, Monica? Uma, can you stand up? And I ask this: are we all ready? Are you all ready?
Oh, yes.
So I'm sure it will. Now you have become officers. I don't know whether I can ask you or not. That's it. That Chuck Day also I was pretty embraced. But youth is characterized by energy. Youth is characterized by innocence. I mean, if whomever are comfortable can do that. Are we all ready for the 5 sprints? Yes. Oh, yes. Super, yaar. Let's do this together. Are we all ready? Oh, yes. Yes. One last time. Are we all ready? Yes. Not this. Okay, good. Say with me. Chakde. 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 Still you have that. It's not manifesting. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere that officer feeling is still there. Good. Have it. Now let's start with the first session. So how do we
let's come up with the pattern. Let's agree on a pattern. So hereby I'm proposing everyone a pattern, right? So the pattern of how we want to do that 5 goals within the limited time. They're all masters in time. So let me put you this way. So what is the way that we can do it? Each session, we have a case study with you. If you open your folder, we have case study with you. First part is, look at me, please look at me. The first and foremost request I have for all of you is, can you look at me one to one? That's very, very important for me. Yesterday, Mr. Professor Abbas Ali was also mentioning that many resource persons have felt that it is very difficult to maintain eye contact in this hall. And I'm challenging that if you cooperate with me, I will be able to have an eye contact with the last young officer there as well. But that I really need your cooperation. That each of you look at me at least for this session. At least for this session. Not as a Mayur, but some team Nirmal which is there, treating all of you as really important ones. Let us have that. Are you all ready for that? Okay? Okay? Okay. That's one. Number 2, every session, out of these 5 sessions, you will have a sheet with you. The first part of the session will be, you will have 2 to 3 minutes of time, you will have a quick read to that. And then, we will be presenting what we did, how did we solve that problem, that social entrepreneurship problem, here in the presentation. And then, third part of every session, what we can do is, you can have an interaction where you will talk about your own views on this particular social problem, and you have a feedback form as well. Because 140 of you, we thought that within the limited time we may not have get access to all the 140 of you to have a conversation. Answer whatever you feel. We are showing 5 problems to you, and the way we have worked on it is what we are showing to you. So whatever you feel in the feedback form or the page on the next page, which is empty, you can write down your feedback. You can challenge us, you can tell that positive feedback, you can tell alternative models are there or whatever. Are we all okay? You're okay with this?
Yes.
The 3-point approach?
Yes.
Good. So, firstly, please look at. Yeah. Firstly, let's talk about social entrepreneurship definition itself. So, yesterday I asked Professor Abbas Ali that, Professor, do I get a chance for your groups as per the counselor to be seated at a place, or how will they be sitting? He told that our officers will be sitting randomly. So I was planning, I didn't see this venue, so maybe probably this is one group for me, and the second group, third and fourth. So this is how we'll try to have the interaction. And let's have this. First interaction, first question from my side is, what is social entrepreneurship? How do you define a social entrepreneur? I don't know, your MCHRD has a definition probably, and you all in your own minds and expertise have a definition. So I will move on when at least one of you will, I solicit your feedback, and one of you speak about, in your view, what is social entrepreneurial work and what is social entrepreneurship. One of you speak, and then we consolidate. We will share what we feel as a social entrepreneurship, and then move on.
Hello, sir. It's social entrepreneurship is basically a business model without the major aim of having profit as a goal.
Thank you. Thank you. Your name?
Akshay Kamra.
Akshay. Thank you, Akshay. And then from one of you? One from here, one from here, one from there.
Sir, here.
Really, Professor Abbas is right.
Here, yes.
Yeah, please.
According to me, social entrepreneurship means a business model which helps to solve the social issues.
Social business model to solve. Thank you.
Sir, here.
Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You tell me which is the block you're talking from.
Okay. 4.
Block
So,
4, yeah.
Yeah, for an
Your
entrepreneur,
name. Your name.
Sanju Das.
Yeah.
So for an entrepreneur, their main objective is profit, but social entrepreneurship mean their main objective is not the profit but the social impact.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So this is Vinay. So basically it's a business model. Definitely there is an objective of making money or profit, but it's all about the process, how you're going to do it. So it's about impacting people. For example, it can be sourcing some goods from human SNGs or like giving back. For example, if you're venturing into a tourism industry, maybe sustainable tourism or something like that.
Fantastic. Fantastic work. Thank you.
Sir, this side.
Block 3. Block 3. Yeah. Fantastic.
Excuse me, sir. Palash.
Which block? I am 34 in age and almost similar to you. Are talking about 26 average age, 30, etc. And okay, all at Nirman average age is 26 at Nirman for the 1,000 people. So you can call me Mayur, please. Except this gentleman. This is the young officer who has joined us 3 times. Except sir, you finish his wisdom. I think yeah. Please. Yeah. Please.
So there should be an element of innovation and critical thinking in this social enterprise, apart from serving the society.
Element of critical thinking and innovation. Okay, you are bringing social innovation part.
Sir,
Yeah, someone from this block 1. 1 second. Someone from block 1, so that we can move on. I'll give you time, but we'll move on only after everyone speaks. Yeah, one more.
yes, sir.
Block number 3.
Sir, in my
No, sir,
opinion,
Mayur.
in my opinion, it's ability and willingness to take risk and put investment in order to generate positive value change in the society.
Okay. Thank you. Your name, you said?
Vijay.
Thank you, Vijay. I understand that there is second name also that has come, but let's move on. Okay, block 1, anyone is ready? Okay, cool. We'll move on. Social entrepreneurship in our own definition. Whenever we have a social problem and we try to solve the social problem with 3 design principles of high impact, scalability and sustainability. If we are trying to solve a social problem in an impactful manner, in a scalable manner and in a sustainable manner, at Nirman, many of the definitions across the globe also say, I know that you will not be worried about definitions for the real spirit. So let us leave about the theory. Any problem solution which is having 3 design principles. What are they? High impact, scalability, and sustainability. So we can define this way. And a social entrepreneurship or a social entrepreneur can be into 3 different forms. It can be a for-profit, it can be a non-profit, it can be a hybrid one. We leave it there. Definitely, we also got surprised many a times. Do you know many a times social entrepreneurship is a word that is misutilized sometimes? Do you know that? Yes, it is misutilized. So we stopped speaking about social entrepreneurship. We stopped at Nirman. We started speaking about only social innovation. We started speaking like that. But gradually, the world itself started recognizing Nirman's work as social entrepreneurial work. So then we realized, okay, let us relate to that and let's understand our own definition. Hence, this is the definition, and we are happy to be part of this session. Now, with this juncture, now let me ask this question to you. With the new definition that we are discussing, till the point we are solving social problems here, till that point, whether you call it a social entrepreneurship or social innovation doesn't matter, right? What do you think? For at least you and us, we anyways don't have profit motives. Do you have? No. By default, by structure, civil services is non-profit. So how does it matter? Till we solve social problems. Am I right? So now the following question would be this. the following question would be, can a civil servant be social entrepreneur? Question mark. Can a civil servant be social entrepreneur? Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Oh, you're ready for that as well? Okay. Before we say oh yes, we will step back and try to understand at least 2, 3. I solicit at least 4 responses from all the 4 blocks. Yeah. You can tell your block and you can say, can a civil servant? I've seen you. I've seen you passionately speaking of values of integrity, values of high ethical standards, and I know where you're coming from. So, can a civil servant be a social entrepreneur? This is my question. As per the definition that we discussed.
Yes.
Which block? Block 2. Ma'am, what's your name?
I'm Niharika.
Niharika.
So, I don't know how it works with the IIMs or anything, but anybody who can channelize whatever resources they have to achieve any desirable outcome, profit, non-profit, social, political, whatever it is an entrepreneur.
It's an entrepreneurial work. Yes. I
That's
agree.
true.
We agree.
And then, since all of us work, towards raising resources, some of us towards education, some of us towards implementation. I think that's a perfect social entrepreneurial setup right there.
Perfect. Thank you. Niharika, I think you were sitting here last time when you were presenting, right? I am able to relate. Thank you for your answer. And any other block? Any officer? Can a civil servant be social entrepreneur? As per, thank you. You're good.
Shreya.
You're calling Mayur.
Mayur.
Yeah.
Like we have the example in Kerala of Collector Bro, where he channelized food coupons for the poor people.
Right.
So I think that is the perfect example of a civil servant working
Being
as
a social entrepreneur? Fantastic. 2 more. 4 blocks, so 2 more.
Block 1.
Block 1, wow.
No, sorry, block 4 then.
Block 4. I found out a way. We are social entrepreneurs. Yeah, tell me.
So I recently read this
Name?
example. My name is Rohan.
Rohan.
Yeah, I recently read this example of an IS officer from the Telangana cadre who's giving 1 kg of rice for exchange of plastic bottles.
Oh, super.
So that was a perfect example of how
They're trying to solve some problem.
Yeah.
So as per our definition, if you are, leave about IIMs again, leave about the global B schools, what they're teaching. Let's think about if our initiative is trying to solve a social problem in an impactful way, scalable way, and sustainable way. Even after you change from being an officer from that post, if that initiative is sustaining, then that's a social entrepreneurship. Okay. One last.
So actually, I would like to share an example. Like one of my friends is 16 batch RSIT, Vamshi, and he's actually running an NGO which educates Akanksha. It's Akanksha. He's already into service.
Okay.
Technically, the contact rule does not allow us to venture into any such things directly. However, he
No, it allows. For non-profits you can't, but
Yeah.
for non-profits you can be on the boards.
Yes. However, so he kind of tries to channelize the resources and he's continuing that even after his selection. So that is, I think, so many of the examples that people are sharing here is actually about channelizing the resources and this kind of innovation rather than for profit.
100%. The same underlying principle. I will talk about an IRTS officer, Indian Railway Traffic Officer or Indian Railway Service, and this particular officer has come up with in entire railway stations of India will have feeding centers for mothers. Do you think it's a social entrepreneurship idea? Yes. Number 1, because first is it highly impactful? Is it solving a social problem? Yes. Number 2, is it scalable? Across all the stations it's scalable. And number 3, is it sustainable? As an officer, he or she has ensured that the funds which will flow is properly into the straitjacketed schemes of Government of India. So he ensured after the officer moves out also, that's preserved. Done? So it fits in. It's solving a social problem, highly impactful, scalable and sustainable. That's it. You have Swati Lakra ma'am, who initiated She Teams in Telangana. How many of you know? She's an IPS officer. Yes. She talks about Bharosa centers. She talks about Sakhi centers, which actually try to do some good work for socially disadvantaged, distressed women. How many of you know about She Teams? She Teams. I have this agreement with you that everyone will look at me. So even father, yes, yes, good. So now, do you think it's a social entrepreneurship idea? Let's check it. So it's solving a social problem. Women in distress can reach out to the government and they will provide the support. Now let's 3-point principle. High impact. Is it high impact? The girls and women out there, no girl will feel insecure. Is it scalable? Yes, Bharosa centers now are already scalable. They're already fitting into Government of India straight-jacketed schemes. And you have, is it sustainable? Government of India adopted it. That means it's sustainable, right? If I'm right, you spoke about Civil Services Perception Index. Your team? One of the team spoke about that. Okay, good. So, let's take some of the officers, okay? Besides IAS, IPS, IFS, there are certain number of officers who actually are into direct field. And what about the other officers like IRTS and then accounting officers, revenue services, statistical services? So, you have a question?
Sir, I have...
1 second, I'll just complete my thought. So for every service, there is a clientele. I was conversing with my 2001 batchmate is Divya Devarajan. She is part of, she is also Nirman volunteer, now the collector of Adilabad. I was also talking to IRS, Mr. Vinay, who is my senior in my college. So he was speaking about this clientele. Every service has a clientele, right? So in that clientele, if we are doing for those people some solving their problems in a impactful, scalable and sustainable manner, then again is a social entrepreneurship venture. So this much of introduction that we have. I know we are running delayed on time, but it's okay. We are moving on step by step. Now, how the social entrepreneurship, how each one of you, finally what we have done is, whatever preparation we do, the single outcome Team Nirman has for today is, if each one of you is feeling that as per the new definition, each one of you feels that you are a social entrepreneur and get ready for the social entrepreneurship journey throughout your next 30 years, and we are together taking India to 2050 in a fantastic manner, then definitely we have done our job. So, yeah. So now, I think we are at 9:52 and there is a break at 10. And 10:05 to 10:55 is the time. So we'll have a 50 minutes time slot where we'll be running through all that work. But now, if you have any questions, 1 or 2 I will take, and then we'll utilize the remaining time for flowing into the next session. Yes, please.
Sir, according to me, the question that can a civil servant be a social entrepreneur is itself a paradoxical. Because what I see is that in a democratic setup, the government is the biggest non-profit organization.
Agreed.
And there you have the opportunity to bring highest impact change in a most scalable manner and in a highly sustainable manner. So if you are truly a civil servant, you must be a social entrepreneur. There is no other choice.
I agree to disagree, but 100% agree. Thank you so much. Now, we'll try to cover as many sessions as possible for the 5 things that we talked about. So let us utilize, it's 9:53, so let's utilize 3 minutes of read for the session that is given to you, session notes, it reads, on top of it reads, session notes on programs for children. So we are entering into children. We are talking about especially economically, socio-economically disadvantaged children studying in government schools especially. We'll try to see how social entrepreneurship in our own way we have done. You can go through what we have done in that note. This note is structured in such a manner that it will talk about when Team Nirman, what is the problem that they have seen when they started, and then goes into the second question of how Team Nirman have attempted first time, what is the solution, first solution it has given, and it will hit a gap, and we will talk about 2019. In 2019, where this solution is, how many people are we able to impact, and finally it will also talk about the global goals. How are we aligning to the global SDGs? Then all of us. How many of you are done? Okay. We have 50 more minutes to go. Yeah. Are we all ready? Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. And now let's have a structured talk. So, so everyone is looking at me. One to one. We are speaking one to one. One to one. All right. Let's do this. So in year of 2007, 2008, that was the time. By the way, we will be taking, once this talk is done, then we will be taking a break of 5 minutes. Is it okay? We are not taking the break at sharp at 10. Is it okay? Yes. Okay, alright. So in the year of 2005, this movement of Nirman has started. Let's explore how the social entrepreneurship in education happened in Nirman. In 2005, all idealistic people like you all are working day in and day out, teaching kids, etc. Suddenly we realize that these kids are not even having fundamentals. You would have definitely studied ASER report and various national education assessment survey, etc. And then you would have observed that there is a problem called grade level competencies. That means an 8th grade girl child or a boy child studying in a government school, sometimes and most of the times, do not have the basics of the 8th standard. That's called grade level disparity. And we build those competencies, we called grade level competencies. Now, when we observe that, we are thinking, all idealistic, people call us insane tribe, right? You or us. So, we were thinking that why not we start a chain of schools throughout the country which actually deliver a very good quality education. So Team Nirman is thinking about that at that point of time in 2005. When we graduated, I went into IBM in Hyderabad, so as my friends into Bangalore, Mumbai, different places, and US, UK, Singapore for higher studies. And then when we were continuing this thought on how do we solve this problem here, I'm talking about social problem at hand that we witnessed, not theory. We witnessed while teaching, we have observed that there is grade level competencies, grade level disparities. So then what we have done is, instead of building our own schools, which will definitely need huge resources, we thought we will already complement the public infrastructure that is already available, that is the government schools. Then we decided and we started working on it. And for all of our employees, corporate employees, started volunteering to various schools in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, etc. And we started taking one school at a time. Then let me tell an example of Kottaguda Government High School, which is there in Kottaguda in Hyderabad near High Tech City. And we have picked it up because it's a bit near and we can go and teach. So very passionately, like you all, we were all going there and volunteering every day again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday kind of thing, and we were volunteering. As we moved in the school, we realized that only 18 students are passing out every year out of the every 100 students. The school has 315 enrollments. What is the number? 315 enrollments, and what we have observed is that out of that only 18% is the pass percentage of the school, which we felt ridiculous because we are living in a high-tech city which is so-called Silicon Valley of India, and we are talking about a school.
That's Bangalore, sir.
Okay, whatever. So at that time, because we were at Hyderabad, we were being told that, you guys are great and, you are in Silicon Valley of India. Leave it. And I take back my word, okay? I step back on that. But let's come to the real point. We were worried about these 18 kids, only 18%. There is so much of exclusion here. We are talking about $5 trillion economy. And when we are reaching that $5 trillion economy, and if we are excluding these young kids who are in the government schools, which are in rural areas, tribal areas, how much disparity. Then we thought, we will further our efforts. We will deepen our efforts. And from that time, those 18%, we have converted into 84% pass percentage. There is only one question. These percentage should increase. Every child from this school should move on. And then the 315 children moved to 1,074 children in that school. Enrollments year on year have increased and 1,074 schools, and it didn't stop there. One child, Miss Deepa, got Spelby Award from the same school where it is Telugu medium, and one child, she won the national volleyball competition, the girl child who actually competes every day in the sports ground that we have created. And one child called Dhanvantari, he has got a district level honor award on science experiment that he has spoken about how outer ring road can be energy efficient. Yeah, this is superb. It is superb. We felt that as we go deep into the problem, we are actually witnessing something great. The children from the government schools have talent. It's not that they don't have talent. The children from the government schools are hardworking. It's not that they don't have hardworking. It is our society's responsibility to take them along, to include them in our development narrative. How many of you agree? How many of you agree? Yes. That's what we have been doing. This one school, we have observed that, now we have a company called Wells Fargo, a global enterprise, where one of our BitChains, our college mates are studying, and they have come forward and told that we will adopt this school. We have observed and we have found out that there is a trend, because many of us from good universities are going and volunteering in these schools. Many of the corporates thought that they can divert the CSR funds into the same schools. Here is where it clicked for us. Okay, let's pick up the resources. Then we didn't never look back. Now that one school mapped to Wells Fargo, Synchrony mapped to various schools that they have brought in under our fold, and then we went ahead, on and on. Tech Mahindra started building our skilling center in Amirpet area, where the government school children passing out can come and we train them and show them jobs into this sector. And like this, Tech Mahindra mapped to one skill center, every school mapped to one of the corporates. Name a Fortune 500 company. At least 20 Fortune 500 companies, corporates across the world are with us. And we have scaled it up. We won the trust of the people. And from one school, now we have 100 schools. 100 schools mapped to various corporates' social responsibility wings. And name a corporate, they have started trusting us. Microsoft, HSBC, Wells Fargo, Synchrony, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, State Street, all these people have come up and started supporting. Because they have shown them a real model, right? we tried to solve the model. And then there is coincidentally what happened is, as we moved along, there is a CSR leader who believed in us, and through that CSR leader is coincidentally another IT association CSR forum leader. So 300 IT companies in Hyderabad were actually looking out for CSR partnerships, and one of their goal is quality education. That is for the government school, upliftment of government schools. And then we went ahead and built a program called DDI, Disruptive Digital Intervention. What we have realized, initially we thought 18% pass percentage is the problem. Then we could turn it around to 84%. And then we went ahead and understood that there is a much more deeper opportunity. Initially we have seen challenge, right? Only 18 kids passing out of every 100 kids is a challenge. But later we realized when it was made 84, when these kids were given opportunities with a program called CLASS, C for computers, L for language, A for arts, S for sports, S for science. In this framework, when they're taught about, when they're given opportunities, kids are booming. They are chasing their dreams. Then we realized we have seen opportunity that what government school kids need is not talent, not hard work, but opportunity, exposure. Then we thought, okay, we have a smartphone now. This smartphone is connecting us to the world. My father is a teacher, and somehow with education loan he sent me to some university, thus residential university, not only provided with excellent professors, but also provided us with an IPC, which is a computer lab, which is open. You can slot your work and you can have a sessions there, and actually you can go and connect to the world. Then we thought, why not every school have a digital lab with clear computers, where this digital lab can be a secondary source of learning. And as we move ahead, now we are working with a massive, around 12,000 to 15,000 children, and we are tracking their dreams. We have started a fellowship program where young graduates who really want to spend 1 to 2 years of time can come and spend in those rural areas, tribal areas. And we started partnering with various officers and Adilabad and different districts across 8 states, and we started increasing our access. So that's the story which we would like to present. In this journey, definitely many officers have actually helped us. So this is a very important one. As we go in deep into the problem, like you will, when you pick up one problem at a time as an officer, you will also have this. At primary level, we started with school option, scholarship to mentoring. No one should break out their education. And then we continue. If we take any girl child especially, or any child, we continue with this mentorship, and we remove the financial burden of them so that they can continue the higher education. Youth employment, after they graduate, they are given a skill center and they can actually complete their finishing skills. And then we went ahead and placement support. If they want to become their own entrepreneurs, we'll be happy to support them. Our own child called Lakshmi is now running a social entrepreneurship venture of TOH, Threads of Hope. The child has become a chief designer now, and she is running that enterprise within ourselves, the girl child, And you'll be very happy to know these are the kids who Harini, who passed out of one of our skill centers, committed again after she got into Infosys. She committed again 2% of her monthly income. Like say 1 rupee per day, 2% of her monthly income again will be going to the government school where she studied. Janmabhoomi, we call it. Give back to Janmabhoomi is the movement that we have brought in. And Mr. Karthik, who graduated from scholarship and mentoring program of Nirman, started supporting, after getting into TCS, started supporting one more child. Similar the way, and he is sponsoring that amount. Good, no? It's a chain. There should be a place where Nirman need not exist. That's the goal. Educate, employ, give back is the goal. So that's how we are building this movement,
And then we have this, we develop infrastructure facilities, academics, holistic development. We have a clear approach on how to track the individual child's learnings, and then how to make the government teachers, very tough job. After you get into service, you'll understand how to involve government teachers into the program, SNC, school management committees, leadership development of the headmaster, and every school that we take up, we started saying that there should be 10 points. What are the 10 points? Some basic 10-point infrastructure that we are calling every school will have hygienic toilets, and then basic classroom setup, and then safe drinking water, playground, etc. And then once this basic infrastructure is ready, every school that we adopt, what we do is we implement this class framework. C for computer, L for language, A for arts, S for science, S for sports. So whatever framework that we develop, we are just expanding. The accelerated learning program, we have good educationalists who try to develop this spiral learning theory, mastery based learning that Khan Academy teaches. We are all bringing it to the schools. This was the initial school. These are our kids. We are very, very happy to say all original. As we promised, all original, not a single amount of theory. It's all our students, our schools. The district collector, Honorable District Collector of Vikarabad, who is initiating with the corporate leaders. It's just yesterday, a picture fresh and alive. State Street, a global fortune company coming forward and starting a digital lab here. This is the setup that we make. We ensure, and these are the various partners, various corporate partners, worldwide partners, global partnerships that we could build. And Government of Telangana has invited us to be in the State Education Committee, high-level committee for education through CSR. We are part of that committee of Government of Telangana. And recently, Andhra Pradesh, entire Andhra Pradesh initiated our education helpline, we call it, which we'll be covering next. And then leadership through football. So there is something called Goals for Girls, which one of our partner drives, corporate partner, and we introduce this. So how do you introduce leadership through football for girls? We call it Goals for Girls. What is it? Goals for Girls. And we also have another global partnership called Girls Who Code, that they're in talk. Now, Girls Who Code is a movement that has become very prevalent in US, United States, where they are entering. And while they are entering India, especially into the regions, 8 states, they've approached Hyderabad to Nirman. Can you take up this project at Hyderabad and start Girls Who Code? So, this is what we have for the children's session. Thank you very much. And we can take a break and have a conversation and move into next session. Thank you so much. We'll meet again 10:13. So we'll meet again at Chakde! Okay, right? Young officers, we are very, very proud once again to connect to all of you. Over the break, we were conversing with many of you who are from different places. I was also trying to take feedback from all of you on how are you feeling about this session. And there is an interesting conversation. One of our dear officers mentioned that we are able to relate to what you're saying because we are from the same state, or we are able to relate because our own friends are doing this, or we have got involved ourselves in doing it. But can you also clarify on how we can engage? This is what officers are speaking. Actually, we have kept that pending, and we take it as an appropriate time because we are invited to talk about social entrepreneurship. We are trying to give those concepts to you. Okay, because you have asked the feedback on how you can engage with MCHRD and with Nirman. Let me tell you, the first point of engagement that you can do is by participating for the Run for Girl Child that we slated on 24th November. How many of you received an invitation for Running for Girl Child on 24th November? Okay, super. How many of you registered for Run for Girl Child? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means a lot when officers coming together and running for a girl child, and we are not ending there. To the same officers who are running for the girl child that day, on Sunday, we will be fixing up one more date where the girl child kids will be given
distributed through the same officer's hands to Borabanda Government School, which MCHRD adopted. This is what DG sir and Nirman wants to tell you. When we are talking about action everywhere, when global goals are being discussed as global conferences and air-conditioned rooms, we are talking about global goals at a village level. That is the first initiative of MCHRD. We are proud to compliment your leadership, DG sir and his leadership. I have just put a message to DG sir. Say, sir, congratulations. SDGs global goals are being talked about at conferences, and you are talking about SDGs in a village level. It's fantastic initiative, I said. So then he said, he invited White sir and me have gone, and we have spoken, and a new thing is going to come up. We're in talks to start SDG Action Lab. You know Poverty Action Lab? Have you heard of JPAL? JPAL, Jameel, Poverty Action Lab that got the Abhijit Banerjees. We're going to start that. And the first of its initiative is involving young officers, 94th batch FCs into action. That is, they will be running for the girl child on a voluntary basis. On a Sunday, MCHRD will be arranging transport for you to the Necklace Road on 24th November, Sunday, and then arranging a transport back. There, along with the 10,000s of runners who will be running for a normal leave, for health purpose, we will be not only running for health but also for the girl child. We invite all the officers who are exploring and contemplating to join to register for that day. And we are also told, I have shared the Prime Minister's link to our dearest DG sir, saying that, sir, I have seen that your officers, there is an initiative called mentorship. We do it day in and day out. So, can we attach 140 girl children to your own officers, I said. So then he responded saying, already 100 officers are already doing it. I really feel proud. For all of you already mapped. And for the remaining 40 officers, also we are planning to facilitate that one girl child at a time, we mentor thing. So we are in action. Now let me talk about the next level of action that you have asked. How can we engage in this initiative? So the initiative is, the name that we have come up with is something called hashtag give back to Janmabhoomi and Karmabhoomi. What is it? Hashtag give back. Say with me, hashtag give back to Janmabhoomi and Karmabhoomi. So when we say hashtag give back to Janmabhoomi and Karmabhoomi, that means that the conceptual level is, if India has to be solving its own problems, if world has to solve their own problems, then may not be possible by keeping our hopes on one chief minister or one prime minister or one person. But rather, it should be a people movement. How we have done it in independence time, it should be a people movement. How do we do it? We thought every person will have a Janmabhoomi and a Karmabhoomi. So, say for example, Dr. Ashok Agrawal, who is the first batch gold medalist from BITS Pilani, 1960s. He is the CEO of many companies. Now he joined as the first give back champion. That means in his Karmabhoomi, which is Hyderabad now, near a school he has mapped to, that is Erramanjil Government School. So we adopted that with give back champion as Dr. Ashok Agrawal. We adopted that government school and we have started our development activities there. And within 1-2 years of time, we could increase the enrollment of the school. Similarly, he is from Uttar Pradesh. He settled here, but he is from Uttar Pradesh. His Janmabhoomi is Uttar Pradesh. So in Uttar Pradesh, one government school we have started with scholarships. So what happened actually is, he is bringing all of his efforts and connections for that school. And Nirman maintains a ruthless, transparent effort and brings this expertise of transforming a government school. And that becomes a win-win combination. And now, do you know how many states we are into? We are from BITS Pilani team. So wherever University have expanded. BITS Goa, BITS Hyderabad, we have our student chapters. And that means we entered into, from Rajasthan we entered into Telangana and also Goa. Wherever we started working, our Karma Bhumi, we started. So metros we are into majorly. So we started Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and then Karnataka, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, etc. You know how we expanded to Kerala? Kerala we expanded through, recently there is a flood relief program that happened. Kerala there are floods. Then we responded. We went on a Bolero, an action-packed team, went to the spot when there is no train, no flight, no bus. And there we have met how? We partnered with our own Anupama IAS and we went to the Thrissur district, and Thrissur and Ernakulam districts. We started transforming, rebuilding the schools over there and also livelihoods over there. That's how we partnered, a civil servant and social entrepreneurs, civil SSOs, CSOs, have partnered together, and we could bring in all these corporates. Have we showed you many corporates? We told that, hey, listen to this. A civil servant and a social entrepreneur, both of them got together and created a project. We met the first visually challenged IAS officer as well, Miss Pratibha. So all of them have, in Ernakulam and Thrissur district, we are very, very happy to say that we could impact up to around 15 government schools where we have rebuilt with a total cost of 1 crore rupees, where we have brought in our corporate strength, global giving to this project. Now, I am sure you have understood that how you can engage with us, how you can engage with MCHRD, SDG Action Lab, and also Nirman. Yes. So, this is how you can engage. So, let me pause for a while and let me take some suggestions or interaction because it's very much important. So, this is how we have placed it. Let me solicit your opinion. I may request the gentleman officer, young officer there, who spoke about your map to a tribal girl child, and you are going through a tough phase and committed to make a change. Can you speak about that? Let's hear to you.
So actually, as a part of Arambh conference, we were sent to a village on the Diwali day, and we were mapped to a tribal kid. Now the tribal kid speaks in a tribal dialect, which we cannot comprehend, and now we are supposed to mentor her, not just in studies, like for life. So like, how do we go about it? That is a critical issue because we won't have translators.
Which place?
It's in Gujarat.
Okay. Yeah. I'm taking this question. I will answer it. Bye-bye. Any more questions where you have ideas? Yeah. Please. You are talking about a school where you observed your father also have done.
Not about that. I mean that.
But
I think
you go
is
ahead and ask your
pretty
question.
commonplace. But I would like to ask you a question as to how you would address this kind of an issue where things are very circular. Like, we went to the school where there were only 20 children, where the sanctioned or the on papers number of enrollments were 185. I asked where are the rest of the children, and the only answer was they migrate with their parents.
Okay.
I went to the health center, same thing. They said what happened? They said they migrate with their parents.
Okay.
So health, education, every other aspect is related to the parents' livelihood.
Right.
So even if they have computers, even if they have better teachers, even if they have every other thing in the world, when the parents migrate, the children have to migrate. They just can't be present in the classroom or the health centers. So everything is like so circular. What can a targeted delivery do anything to that?
Fantastic thought process. I would really clap for both of you for asking this question. It's a very good thought process. So, first I'll answer to him. So, we are happy to share that Government of Telangana Tribal Commissionerate has invited Nirman on this mentorship program called GOAL. Is the same program that you're talking about where you are mapped to a child in tribal area?
It's a different program.
Okay, anyways, so we have been doing this mentoring for long, and we'll definitely, come up with a solution for you where how you can mentor this child in a tribal area in Gujarat for a lifetime. We commit to you that we will bring out a solution. We are also ourselves till now, we are directly taking every year hundreds of, we work with government school children, no? So as they graduate, they enter into their higher education or they drop out because of whatever she is mentioning, and then they again settle and they give back. So educate, employ, give back is our cycle, our circle. So in that way, we come across very promising ones. So all this while what we are doing is we have been mapping mentors who are of the same language. So we didn't have this problem. But now government also invited us to design the goal. It's a mentorship program where even you can use your technology on Facebook, WhatsApp, and we give the government is in a plan that we give a smartphone where the child can be directly looking visually. All that is being planned. We'll get back to you. We commit to forming this mentorship, and also for the 40 officers whom we are trying to map children, we'll take care of this and we'll take a long way from here. That's first engagement we are doing. We will make it a successful one. And to the question that she has asked, how we are addressing, at least in our Nirman communities, where Nirman is working. Say for example, we have taken Borbanda as a community. In Borbanda as a community, what we have done is, we have not only adopted the government schools, working with the government schools, but also what we have done is we have established something called vocational training centers for women. And we have also established youth skilling centers as well. So there is a synergy where to this vocational training center, the same women, many of the mothers of these children who are talking will come to our centers. Will come to our centers, get skilled, and we are also working on income upliftment. At least we are trying to address this in our own way in that community. So there is a synergy of initiatives that we are talking about.
Sir,
yes?
to your right, Aditya. Sir, can I answer Niharika's question?
Please.
Sir, what is being done in, so in Maharashtra there is problem of migration. People from Marathwada migrate to Western Maharashtra. So in Western Maharashtra, the solution lies. So they have started Sakhar Shalas, that is sugar schools to enroll migrant children. Same is being done in Andhra Telangana by Mahesh Bhagwat sir. He has opened schools for Odisha people, those who migrate from Odisha in Odia language.
Thank you.
So how would that address when they go back to their village to till their own lands?
Yeah, that is the issue. That is the issue. Education can be addressed in other.
We will not leave this conversation here. We will take it. We will take it and we will close it. So now to conclude the session on how you can engage, you can, if an officer is interested, not only in mentorship of one girl child, but also in adopting one government school in your Janmabhoomi and Karmabhoomi, Nirman and NCHRD will be happy to design such program and engage with you, so that we can together make a change in those schools. Now, can we look into the second slot, session B? There is session notes on special program for career guidance. We'll take a minute of your read there. Sure. Can you calculate that 2 minutes? So we'll have a minute of read. Are we done? Okay. So let me talk about this. Very crisply, we will talk about these things. The material is with you, so you can go through any time. So let me talk about this. So again, we will go back to our social entrepreneurship. How we observe this problem? In 2009, like Kerala floods happened, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka floods happened. In 2009, Nirman adopted a village called Sunkesra in Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. In 2009, while working every day, every weekend, while we are going and trying to do some sustainable help in that village by adopting that village, while doing a door-to-door survey, we have understood that one of the women lady has come to us and told, Bhaiya, actually my girl child got a medical seat, but no money. We want to apply for a loan or a scholarship. But when we want to apply for a loan or a scholarship, what so happened is we are depending on middlemen, and the middlemen are taking money but not giving information. So this is the problem at hand. The problem at hand is that in rural areas and tribal areas, young people like you and me will have lot of dreams, but there is no one to guide. Maximum they have is a teacher or a senior. How many of you agree? Okay. So we tried to solve this problem in social entrepreneurship mode, high impact, scalable and sustainable. We thought like 108, which is health helpline, can there be an education helpline? So we have started one such. Sri Dhankishore IAS, who was the then collector, got surprised with this idea and has told a civil servant and a social entrepreneur once again, we started this education helpline with 180042522425. So then, when we opened it up for one district of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh then, calls started coming. They have started asking, Bhaiya, I want to become an IAS officer. Didi, I want to become a chartered accountant, lawyer, pilot. We started answering query by query. And do you know how many districts calls have come? Even though we spoke about only one district, 20 districts of Andhra Pradesh have called. 5 states, different states children started calling. And do you know how many calls we would have taken up till now, and how many we would have gone and career counseled these people? Any guess in the number? I think it's there in your sheet. 7.5 to 8 lakh calls have come till now. And then all these children are asking queries, and we have resolved them. And we are very, very happy to share the point that when we started solving this problem, getting deep and deeper, ISB, Indian School of Business, recognized this initiative as the top 15 social innovations in the country. Ramarao, wait. Be ready. Indian School of Business recognized this as top 15 social innovations of the country. Vodafone Mobile for Good, in the national level at Delhi, they are recognized as winner of the social innovations using technology. Recently, we were part of the National Career Guidance Policy drafting team. They made consultations with us in how to do the career guidance policy for the entire nation. And so much homecoming. I quit IBM. There is one more IBMer here, that young officer. Say Chakde. You too. Good. IBM Global CEO, Ginny Rometty, selected this project as one of the top 20 countries applied, and the volunteer who applied from IBM has won this award from 20 countries. India for the first time won it. Yeah. Seriously, this is an achievement, because many people, when we quit, so-called, we are shown as role models. have taken untraditional path, when I quit IBM and serving the Nirman full time for a societal mission with just 30,000 to 35,000 a month honorarium, people have not just insulted us, but our parents and fathers have suffered a lot. And he is the father who has been there with me all through his insults, all through his life. It's damn important that the world recognized the effort that was put by our Nirmanites, and we dedicated this award and international recognition where 20 countries applied. India won for this international career guidance project to all our parents of Team Nirman. Many of the Nirman leaders over here would have quit their corporate jobs, would have quit their government jobs and have started traveling for a long time. Even the little leaders here, the girls, young girls would have volunteered during their engineering time or whatever and would have full time devoted. And this society, the mindsets insult. Seriously, it's a very good one. And we felt that, yes, from the same corporate which we have quit, people told insane, that insanity has won. Following our heart is very, very important in this world because following our heart is a real manifestation of oneself. And we are very, very happy to share the pictures. There's a quick photo essay we will go through. This is the first IAS officer, a civil servant and a social entrepreneur coming forward. It is in a small room. He has given a small room in Rangareddy Collector Office that is now has won the international recognition for doing career guidance for across the world. This is the toll-free setup where these 7.5 to 8 lakh calls are being talked about. This is a career Sati program that we are thinking about. She is Mrs. Divya Devarajan, the once Nirman volunteer at our campus. He is Mr. Sridhar IAS. We are talking about Warangal Urban Collector. We are talking about Kottagudem Collector. We are talking about Commissioner Guntur Municipal Corporation. We are talking about Raghunandan Rao, who is the Rangareddy Collector. We are talking about Mahabub Nagar district, one of the backward district in this country. And we are talking about IPS officer Sri Praveen Kumar IPS, who partnered with us to do career guidance. We are talking about IRTS officer Rajya Shrikant, who is leading the Andhra Pradesh Skill Development Corporation. We are talking about various tribal things, and we are talking about Assam, Northeast, which have partnered and Nirman as an expert partner in delivering this career guidance. And recently, we have hit the milestone of, in one single year, through Nirman expertise, Andhra Pradesh government has completed career guidance, life skills and career guidance for 7.5 lakh children studying in 9th and 10th class of Andhra Pradesh. This is the Vodafone Mobile for Good that I was talking about. This is the Niti Aayog National Career Guidance Policy that I am talking about. This is the real movement that we are talking about, that we dedicated as social entrepreneurs to our parents. The IBM Volunteer Excellence Awards, various 17 government partnerships, CSR partnerships, various NGOs partnerships, various stories of change that I talked about, like the very starting girl of the rickshawala daughter. So this is about this program, a very important program which I have to definitely talk about, this very close to your hearts as well, called Farmers. Can you please go to the E session? E. We are at 10:49, so we have 6 minutes. So, a team Nirman or a civil servant like you gets in contact. I'm not giving time to look at this, please. This is for your study. So, let us maintain our one-to-one as agreed upon, and let's move on. Let's use the 6 minutes. So, team Nirman, one of the leader from BITS Planning and from our university, acted as the president of Nirman, like Anupama KVS. He thought that he will be inside he met the Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, Dantewada. In Dantewada, he has visited the tribal villages and have met a malnourished farmer's daughter. That's when he thought, this is the problem I need to solve. And from then the journey started. In 2012, it started with Akash Badare, partnered with a civil servant and started working for 450 farmers of tribal Dantewada. And in 2019, we are very proud to say we are working for the 10,000 farmers in the entire Dantewada district, where where it is really difficult for any officer or any human being, they have a fear that Dantewada can be work or not. We have not only partnered with 10,000 farmers, but the produce that is being organized, Boom Gadi, that's the farmer producer organization that we have developed, and Boom Gadi brand products, the rice that is made by 30 varieties of paddy is being distributed in 40 cities of India. That's really a worthy one. And Tribes India has come forward. 100 stores of Tribes India will have our product of Boom Gadi. And let's have a photo essay on this. The village Jabeli, the malnourished children in tribal Dantewada. This is the rural Hat Bazaar in village Palnar, where Team Nirman first encountered the cheating that is happening for the farmers. Local traders. This is the system of rice identification technique that is identified with our sincerest regards to KC Devasenapati IAS, who partnered with us to make this impact. This is the Boom Gadi annual general meeting. Annual meeting of Boom Gadi. We are very, very happy to say when our work gets national recognition. Center for Science and Environment has come forward and said this is the best way district mineral fund, mining fund can be utilized across the country. It has made a case study of our work. What else can be the real, achievement when your work can be percolated and can be replicated. And I'm going ahead, Chhattisgarh government, state government has made a case study of our work in Dantewada and has circulated to all the districts of Chhattisgarh. What else can be a real testimony of our work? And yes, very happy to be partnering the opportunity. Dantewada is the only district after Sikkim to be chemical free. And we are proud to say as Team Nirman, we are part of that success story that India had. This is the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh holding our Adim brand. Niti Aayog CEO visited our product reaching Government of India, Prime Minister of India and our President. The work is being talked about. Dantewada's BITS alumnus has created 2,000 organic micro-entrepreneurs, and this is what we are talking about. And we are very, very happy finally to say that, International Food and Agriculture Organization has invited into talks where they want Nirman to be part of organic farming policy to be designed in India. We're in talks, it's yet to be finalized, but that's where we are heading towards. That's where we're heading towards. The PPTs that were prepared is okay. We will be transferring those PPTs, case studies, but I am thinking that we could pass on the spirit as well. Are we able to?
Yes.
I will check that once. I will check that once now. Well, with the sound that we get for are we all ready for New India 2015? I will be asking all of you. I will be asking all of you. I will be appealing all of you to respond with whatever pattern. That will be a real measure of are we able to, in this 110 minutes, are we able to communicate or not? Because it is the choices and sacrifices of parents, 10,000 volunteers of selfless Nirman. It's a great opportunity to meet officers like you and heroes of this country. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Are we all ready?
Yes.
Are we all ready? Say with me, OS. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Are we all ready?
Yes.
Say with me, Chakde.
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 And we are not talks, we are actions. We are at 10:54 and we will be acting. How are we acting? We are taking this talk into action with Run for Girl Child. Kindly come over. Officers running for Girl Child. We will start our action there and we will start with give back to Janmabhoomi, Karmabhoomi. We have a lot of case studies. We will be very, very happy to do that. Final one single thought is the following. The girl children and the women have prepared a small souvenir for you that will reach your desk. That's an eco-friendly souvenir. From our heart, from our wholeheartedness, we would like to wish you all the best for your careers, for your next 30 years of contribution to young India, a new India that we are going to change. And as you are requested, let's all have check day now. Let's all have check day. Okay, please come over. This will be a very difficult one. Give me 2 minutes here. It will be a. So we'll have three circles here, and we'll be doing administrative check day. Please come over. This is the spirit of unity that we will show. And I request the Nirmanites, our dear respected IFS director, Sri Bahit sir, and also P.K. Sharma sir, to be in one, and our director Venkat to be in one of the circles, our Vijay and CEO to be in one of the circles. Please come over. Please come over. We'll do a check day. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. It's a quick one. Please come over.
यार मेरा फोन रखा था वहाँ बस फोन देख लो
Please. I administer this block. Venkat, you can administer here. Uma, you can map to Venkat. Monica, you come here. We'll form a circle. Please put your hands. No, let them come here. Let them come here. Okay, we are showing a sample chapter. So, on a count of 3 to 1. Shrikant. On a count of 3 to 1, we say chapter. And we should provide resonance. Frequency should match and we should provide resonance. Okay? 3, 2, 1, chapter! And we will not say a lot chapter, okay? Then frequency will not come. I am an engineer and you are engineers, many of you. So we'll form the circles. Please form into circles, 4 circles. Yes, that's one circle, ready? Everyone please be there in one of the circles. It's a human connection. If you are not part of the circle, then you are not connected humanly. Everyone out there, please come over. Please come over. No one left out there. Please come over. Please come over. Come on, hold this. Please wait. No one please wait. We'll do it together. No one should be left out. No officer should be left out anywhere because it's a human connection. Okay? Okay, ready? Please wait. We'll do it together. No officer is left out on a table. The 2 officers, please. 2 officers out there. This is a human connection. You have to be at the center. Please. Okay. I'm saying 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. This 3 to 1 we'll do it together. Okay? 3, 2, 1. We will do it with Janagana Mana. Wherever you are, you can stay. Wherever you are, you can stay back. Wherever you are, you can stay back. 3, 2, 1, alert for national anthem. 3. Wherever you are, please stand up. Please stay back. 3, 2, 1, start. Janagana Mana Adinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarata Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashisha Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gata Janagana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He Jai Hind. And on the brochure that is given to you on the second page, there is our number with the card written. So in your own places, if you want to get engaged, then definitely you can reach out to us. It is my personal number. You can reach out to us. And there is a feedback form. There is a feedback form on your sheet.
kindly fill the feedback form. And I request Nirmal volunteers to give away the souvenirs made by our own girl child and women. All the souvenirs to be given and the feedback form can be returned to us. Please. We thank MCHRD leadership for providing this opportunity for us.
On the behalf of CRHRD and fellow workers, I would like to thank Mayur for its inspiring lecture. It will certainly motivate us to play our role as a social enterprise. Thanks. Now I would like to call PK Sharma sir for felicitation of the Nirman members and presenting memento to Mayur sir. Please, all the Nirman team members come to the floor for felicitation.
All the